Farmers Policy Perks are that little extra something you can get when you're a Farmers customer. So to tell you about them, we're adding a little extra something to this ad. Another me. And when you have multiple Farmers policies, you could save up to 45% on your auto insurance with the Auto Multi-Policy discount. What's going on with our voice? I thought I'd add some drama. Well, isn't that something? Get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies. Subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges, Farmers New World Life Insurance Company or affiliate.
This month, on the 11th, Pineapple Street Studios presents The Beige Room, a 3-part series about a notorious self-help seminar. Host and filmmaker Kelly Loudenberg asks why millions of people are flocking to spend their weekends in beige hotel ballrooms, divulging their deepest secrets with hundreds of strangers. Supporters say that what takes years of therapy to do, this program can do in a weekend. But how? And what are the consequences? That's this month on the 11th. Just search for the 11th now, wherever you get your podcasts.
He won't return tomorrow. He could return to practice, I guess, but I don't expect him for Friday for the game.
What about Craig?
Craig was not out there today, obviously. Still day to day.
What's your concern level about Victor? Because initially out in San Jose, that was thought to be relatively short term, and here we are 5 games later.
Yeah, no, it was. We didn't have imaging that we could get when we came back, or we got when we came back, I should say. The imaging that we did get when we came back still kept it day to day. It's not a 3-week deal. It basically is an area that's inflamed, and we're waiting for that to resolve. And it impedes what he can do, what he can bring to the game. And it's a tedious on the smaller side. It hasn't resolved yet.
When you look, you have a back-to-back coming. Without Anderson, is it conceivable you're going to use Dell in one of these two?
Yeah, if we don't have, and it doesn't look like we'll have Anderson, so you're correct on that. The inclination would be to go to Ticker the first night and then evaluate from there. But yeah, I think that would be, on simple thought, yeah, you'd probably play both of them in those back to back.
As far as Mark on the first with Darlene, obviously most of your defensemen are going to end up playing with each other over the course of the year. But why was Mark the right guy to move up? I guess
he's a real stabilizing personality. He's been in the league a long time and has a calm to his game, and I think that was at a premium for us at that moment to have a little bit more calm. Certainly, the defensive group was under fire. The last, and I say that just even in the media, it was under fire. That was the talk of those guys. So, you make that switch, and Mark has a real calming presence, and it showed in the game. And again, the right shot makes it a lot easier when you have a right and a lefty. Everything's so much easier. So to give that to Dahls was, I think, it showed. It was a good pair, and we stayed with those guys today in practice. Butcher came back into practice, feeling much better. He's ready to go, so he should be in the lineup on Friday, and he would stay right where he is with Hag, and then that would leave Bryson and Miller, a righty and lefty, together. So, the Hag and Butcher would be two lefties.
You were certainly hopeful that Pissick would have that impact on Darlene, and Darlene had improved his play against Detroit until the Bertuzzi play. But to see the way Pissick and Darlene went Monday, was that about as good as you could have expected it to go for the first time?
That's a tough building. Washington's a tough team. I know they're missing players, but they also have, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, goal scorer there is, and many others. So yeah, it was a tough game all around, and I thought Darlene rose to that challenge. I thought Dylan Cousins was outstanding in that game too. He had a lot of face-offs against Kuznetsov and Ovechkin's line, and it was a hard-fought game. I think the chances were even, but obviously they've got scorers, and the scorers scored for them.
You've said a lot during the season that sometimes all Rasmus does is complicate a situation that doesn't need to be complicated at the time. And I noticed a couple of times where he got under pressure and just flipped it out to center ice instead of, Is that where Mark can help him, even after a shift, sit down and help him uncomplicate the game a little bit for him?
Definitely. I didn't say he always complicated the simple. I said there's time. When he gets himself in trouble, yeah, but he's a player that's always, these players that have a mind like Dahls has, you know when you have a confidence that says, I know there's a great play to be made. And sometimes that means when you're looking for a great play all of the time, you force plays a lot of times because your stubbornness is because you're confident. I know I can make this play, and all of a sudden it closes up, and you didn't survey a simple play. And that's part of growth, and that's part of him and anybody getting in situations that they complicate things. But yeah, Dahls is the aerial, we would call it, when he aerialed the puck out of the zone to the next zone, is a skill that's used throughout the league. It's just a skill to break pressure. You can't make a direct play, so the old way used to be off the glass and out. In the last decade, the aerial in the puck to the next zone and pressuring it there is a big one. And it's nice to see him using those things because, again, he likes to make the perfect play.
But is that Mark's influence on him?
I think it is. Yeah, I think that helps. I think it's everybody's influence. These guys all influence. Everybody influences everybody, and to have Mark there right by his side immediately, he does talk to him in between shifts, as he did with his other partners, as he does, and even in practice today. Lots of talk and communication between Mark and Dahls, and Mark has a lot of experience that Dahls can use.
Have you liked the way you're limiting second chances even over the recent stretch here?
Yeah, I do. I certainly do. I mean, you're going to give up chances in this league. There's great players, and they're going to make great plays, but it's limiting them. It's making them shoot through sticks and fight through sticks. It's pushing them to an outside area that the goaltender sees it as predictable. See the patterns of our system to help our goaltenders. Shot selection is coming. There's consistency in those against. Ticker, for example, the other night, I don't think he didn't make a save on a puck he could see. And you guys could correct me, maybe one he saw. He saved everything he saw, and it was from predictable areas with contested pucks. As we talk a lot about, we can give up shots, but they better be contested, and there better be no second chance. Or that one better be even contested heavier. And our guys have taken that, to heart and battled hard for us there.
Back to Mark, part of the reason I guess he came here is because he wanted to play defense regularly again. Can you sense that he relishes the opportunity that he has here?
He does. He appreciates it. I believe you can see that. He is a guy that he has a smile on his face, and he doesn't deter from competing. So he knows his job is to compete, and it's a business, and he's obligated his obligations. But he has a real zest for life, and that is very, very positive for everybody around. But yeah, he wants to. He wants more in his career. He came here with experience, but he's really focused on how can I become better. And I've challenged him that way from day one. I watched a lot of film on him in the off season, and before I even met him face to face, I said, "Here's what I expect of you in the areas of you've got to make these improvements. You've got to push to make these improvements and become a better player." And he has become a better player from what I watched on film last season. And I liked him last season.
Hello, I'm Jason Concepcion, former co-host of Binge Mode Ravenclaw with Gryffindor Rising, still repping the Night's Watch despite Season 8, and the host of Crooked Media's new podcast, X-Ray Vision. Every week, my guests and I will take you through the world of comic book movies, fantasy shows, and more. Join us as we deep dive into your favorite franchises, discuss fan theories, and the latest news. Listen now for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
With Farmers, you could get savings just for becoming a customer. It's a little extra something. So to tell you about it, we're adding a little extra something to this ad. Precious baby giggles. When you switch to Farmers, you could save an average of $437 on your home insurance. And that's a whole lot of something, baby. Aw, get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July 2020 to 21, underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
In 1987, a former prosecutor named Margaret Kuhn took her dog for a walk in one of Louisiana's safest and most affluent parishes. The next morning, she was found dead on the side of the road. 34 years later, the crime remains unsolved.
No one is safe.
Listen to Gone South, Season 1, Who Killed Margaret Coon? A documentary podcast from C13 Originals. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.